Busy people and lots of yellies, Worcester hipsters and fed up townies. We have more than pizza in common, with two rocks for bookends. New Haven, New Haven, New Haven, between two rocks.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Between Two Rocks podcast. It has been a little while since the last time we recorded. That was with Matt Fantastic, who had a few incidents since then, so hopefully nobody here tries to punch any Nazis or anything like that. But I don't know. You know, legal problems happen. We're not here to endorse or condone or, demonize people, so it's fine. This is America, and just do what you want, So this week is going to be pretty fun. What we have here are basically the members of the Liverpool New Haven group. So I'm going to start off by introducing my co-host / very good friend / soon-to-be American citizen, possibly, Dave Form. Welcome.
Thanks for having me back. I'm just impressed that I got invited to return.
Yeah.
After all my citizenship questions last time, in fact. So
yeah, I mean, I couldn't find anybody else, so you just
fair.
Yeah, I mean, I tried. I tried so hard.
You could have had one of these co-hosts and one of them guests.
Well, no, I mean, they're like a yin-yang situation. Like, they need to keep each other. No, they're unacceptable. That's just the only two. No.
So I'm a foil for these guys? That isn't going to work.
Yeah, you're sort of like the regular human who, like, breaches us into whatever they are, you know what I mean? So, I guess I'm going to talk shit about my guests. I should probably introduce them. Only fair, I would say, to let them defend themselves. So first, I guess I'll go right across from me, is Michael Greer. Welcome.
Welcome, yeah. I think the only time Dave has ever been described as a regular human being. Yeah,
yeah, I mean, context. At this
Fair
table...
enough. I guess in comparison.
Right, yeah. In context, he's the most human-like person in this room currently. I mean, on average, maybe not in a room, but,
I'll take it.
Okay, and behind me, sitting in the lazy boy, is Andrew Shetty. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. And yes, I'd like to be gone as Yang. If we're doing yin and yang,
okay.
I will be the Yang.
Dibs on Yang. Okay.
That's the light side, because this is definitely the dark side over here to my right.
That would make sense.
Like, gun to head, would you know yin yang, which is the light and which is the dark?
No idea.
Yeah.
I'm guessing Yang is dark, but
That would be my guess, too.
Yeah.
I just
Then we
assume
need
light
a-
is first.
I
need to
have
switch
to,
up.
I would have to assume you have at least a 50% shot of being correct.
at least, yeah.
At least. I mean, probably at least, most of us probably have yin yang tattoos currently, so it's weird that we can't. But, hey.
Each bicep.
That's right.
That was just a decision when we were younger, We didn't know anything about what the symbol was.
That reminds me, I had this friend, OG Dave, who called me one afternoon. He's like, hey, I'm drunk at this tattoo festival. What should I get tattooed on me? I was like, I don't know, man. He's like, cool, because I already got no gods and no mastered on my knuckles. I was like, cool. All right, you're killing it.
You
No,
went
wrist. Sorry.
Straight there, yeah.
So they're great tattoos, by the way. That dude does have no masters. So.
You didn't feel tempted to give him anything ridiculous to get.
I mean, you
in the
can't
heat of the
top
moment.
him. Yeah, it's hard. You have to let the storm pass, It's not your place to throw things into it. You can, but I don't know that it matters. So, yeah. Hey, thanks. So, my guests this week basically are part of the leadership team of Liverpool New Haven, which is a local football supporters club for the Liverpool Football Club in Liverpool, England, if you have not heard of such a thing.
World famous.
World famous, that's right. The greatest team in the history of the world, so I've been told. Since I've been following them, I found the results somewhat mixed, but, that's all right.
You know what? This could be our year.
Oh, boy. Nice. That's good. It took less than 5 minutes before that got uttered. It's not bad. I mean, so far, so good. So I guess I want to start off. I know, Dave, you became a Liverpool fan because your mother is a proper Scouser.
Indeed. And her mother's whole side of the family, born in Liverpool. She was raised there. Her dad, my granddad, was actually an Everton fan, so he was loving it, obviously, when all of his 3 kids decided to become Liverpool fans. But
Nice.
They grew up in that generation.
Sensible choice.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
mean, the only choice, some might say. They grew up in that generation where Liverpool just won and won and won. So
Right.
probably hard to be an Everton fan
Yeah.
in those
So
days.
I hear. Yeah.
So yeah, I think my granddad would have been proud if I'd have picked Everton, but my mum and my uncle took me to a Liverpool game.
That was it.
92, I think. Jan Molby, Rushy, Barnes.
Yeah,
Fowler.
I believe
just was sold.
These are all real players. I absolutely believe you.
You
'Cause I have no
can
way-
actually Google them. It's
No, I'll just take your word for it. It's fine.
but yeah, I was sold. They won 2-0 against Sheffield Wednesday, I think, and I just couldn't wait to go back and
Sheffield Wednesday is a great name for a club. What's do you know what's going on with that?
haven't got a clue.
No, anybody? Sheffield
The
Wednesday.
Owls. I know their
Ironically
nickname is
started
the
on a
Owls.
Tuesday.
Oh God, you just
There are
Calendars.
two clubs. Sheffield United is there, so maybe they, their closest they could get was just pick a day of the week.
yeah. Okay, okay, guys, just shout out an idea. First idea wins. All right, that's it. Well done.
Yep.
Isn't
Let's see if
Shane?
this sticks around for 130 years.
Isn't Shane Sheffield Wednesday?
No, he's a Nottingham fan.
Nottingham? Oh, sorry, Shane. I just don't.
That's
see
a
it.
whole forest of a team.
Oh, don't worry. Shane will not listen to this. This is not a problem. Yeah.
I mean, he's at a loose end or two.
Yeah. I mean, he's got time. So
Yeah, I don't think he even listened to Eddie's, and he's known him since he was about 8 years old.
Which is sort of almost promotion for his bar that he didn't just check in on. Great.
maybe I should check in and see if they said anything nice about the bar. I best not.
Well, you can trust Eddie to get it done, I guess.
Okay, so Greer, what happened with you?
Sure. So I grew up playing soccer probably since the age of 5, and I mean, Shetty and Josh, it was pretty much impossible, or you never really were able to watch soccer. So kind of how I got into Liverpool is that they used to have a program. It was actually for me. I grew up like right outside New Haven, Milford, on I think MSG, the MSG channel. And it was kind of soccer highlights, in ESPN, but without like all the promotion, just goals and highlights. And I started watching, and I saw Michael Owen, and it was at the time late 90s, where he was just scoring goal after goal after goal. And that was my only real like way to like absorb soccer, watch the sport that was the only sport that I was like decent at, and that I continue to play. So I kind of just followed them, and then through the early 2000s, we started being able to get the Champions League. You started seeing more, and then of course, like by the time I started college, Istanbul 05 happened, and that kind of solidified things.
For those who do not know, that was when Liverpool miraculously came back from 3-0 to win the Champions League final.
Greatest day of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you didn't know, within like 5 minutes of meeting a Liverpool fan, they will probably tell you about where they were when Istanbul happened.
We are all about our history, apparently.
That's true.
Cool. How about you, Shetty?
Yeah, so I'll skip the first about 10 to 15 years of my life.
When you were a Hammers fan, you mean?
Oh, Jesus. Anyways, grew up playing, loved the sport, and it was difficult to watch, but I just loved the sport so much that I watched every team, whatever was available. I would just, get as much time to watch some of the teams I hate now and just see how they played and see how I related. Didn't pick any teams. Loved the sport for what it was because I had the opportunity to. I wasn't born and bred having to be, blue or red. And then I started coming across more and more watching Liverpool and, watching Steven Gerrard play. And the way that he played is how I always wanted to play and never even came 1% close to. But just, box-to-box midfielder, hitting the piss out of the ball from 35 yards out, passes that are right to feet. Again, I can do none of that.
You can do it on an Xbox.
Oh,
I like it because the non-soccer fans are just totally lost. Like, I think I got some of that. I think a box is like a field or...
This is not a soccer blog that you run?
Yeah, it is. It's just weirdly couched in a New Haven thing. Yeah.
I'm going to make it worse. I'm going to start talking about football.
Yeah, well, that's fine. I think most people will be able to follow that part at least.
Yeah, so anyways, it was mostly player-related. And then
Mostly
from
Gerrard.
there, yep, and then started watching the team more, learning more about them. And then it led to, going to a pub and locally meeting a bunch of clowns that also enjoyed and were crazy enough to start drinking at inappropriate hours in the morning. And friendships were bonded and just kind of helped solidify that. I love the.
They think we're friends with them.
Yeah, no, I
go
got
along
that.
with it.
I mean, right, we got to pretend for at least
Don't put words in my mouth.
50 more minutes. Yeah.
What I will say is I do like the fact that over here, when you have no familial inheritance of a team, it's about players. I hear from a lot of people all the time who say, "Oh, I just was watching Michael Essien, or I was watching Gerrard or Owen," as you stated, and that's what got them into the sport, and then eventually helps lead to a team that you like. So there's always a reason to get involved.
Yeah, it's, I'm going to tell a less boring story than Shetty just did, but, sorry. Basically, I've been looking to adopt a Premier League team for a while, but I just, how do you make an emotional connection to a bunch of teams, in England? It's hard. And so I kind of wasn't sure. Like, my mother claimed that my grandfather played for Chelsea, but that side of the family lies a lot. So, I mean, they both do, but that side in particular, it is relevant at this time. And so I was just like, I don't know. They just seem shitty somehow. I just tell in my soul,
I feel like that's something you could look up.
Good instinct, by the way. Good instinct.
Is it like an online scale somewhere where teams are just ranked by their shitty evilness?
Well, the other problem is the whole side of the family's dead, so I don't know who I would even ask at this point. Like, hey, do you... never mind, it's just me alone in a room. A little fun fact for the audience. How's everybody feeling tonight?
I do remember trying to get a name or a last name or anything that I could Google about Chelsea, and there was just no hope of any information coming.
No, yeah, it's... we have no information. I think it's made up, but it's hard to say. So I was looking for a team, and then I met Dave, and he's like the diehard. And I actually met this super cool English expat in Berlin who's like, "You have to root for the greatest team in the whole of Liverpool." And I was like, "Well, I like this guy," and
it was that guy that did it.
I mean, it was that guy. And then they're also owned by Fenway Sports Group. So I was like, all right, I'm a Sox fan. Let's do it. Let's just commit. They're sort of like the Red Sox of England, let's say, in my brain. And so that was it. And it took probably a full season. I think the Suarez almost won it season. I know, I just hurt everybody here. But, that was my first season that I really paid attention. And I wasn't as connected as as everybody else around me.
Yeah, so you were early. It was too hard for you to be fully involved.
Right.
This is 20 odd years.
This is crushing, but this is not
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that season too, every game was just we're scoring 5 goals, but also conceding 4, and it was just oh my god, is every game this emotional?
Yeah.
Right, every single game was an event. Yeah, I do remember. I remember the City game and crying, and you what's wrong? We won, and I was like, yeah, I know. This is the point in the season where I now believe we're gonna actually win the league, and I'm gonna see it happen. And then
I do remember saying that was stupid, and to ever count on anything.
Yeah,
is
I mean, it's too late though, isn't it? It's 20-something years
of
watching. It's not.
See, lifelong depression has taught me to not hope for things. Stupid. I was like, what is wrong with this guy?
I went all season, and everyone was saying you're going to win it. I was like, no, and it was 3 games from the end of the season. They were our only rival, and we beat them at their ground, I think.
Was it City? It was at home.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I was in Ireland at the time. I cried on a coach bus. I was like, this is going to happen. And then I ended up going to the Chelsea game, and then this was my first match. And then all of a sudden I had this
this is your fault.
Yeah, I've been blaming myself for years. But yeah, I just had this sinking suspicion. I was just like, oh, something bad is going to happen today. Never did I think my most idolized player in the world would slip on the pitch, just throwing away his one opportunity to win the Premier League.
A man who, over anyone else in the history of the Premier League, deserves to win it, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. As a Liverpool fan, yes, but also as just a football fan. Yeah. He pledged himself to that team, even at times when
people still believe in God.
Well,
it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Oh no, that was the day for me.
Yeah.
Just, no God.
Yeah. Nice. So cool. So how did Liverpool New Haven come to be? Because I know I kind of Dave dragged me to Liffey's, and I was like, I'll wear red or whatever.
Yeah,
I didn't really know what was going on.
And that's a way more complicated. So how I started too is that there were different iterations of, because we've been in different bars, we've been in Anna Liffey's for quite some time before making the jump to Trinity. But I know, and I think Shetty is the same, and you could probably tell, I started going to the bar when I graduated undergrad around 2008. At that time, a bunch of guys like Gary Cullinan, who was the head bartender and manager over at Anna Liffey's, had a group together, and it started to really build. And in those years, it was really up and down. We had just come off a lot of success, and then started to have managers who weren't quite cut out to coach a team like Liverpool, like Roy Hodgson. So we had a few down years. And with people moving from bar to bar, it just felt like certain things weren't like really sticking at the time that like myself and Shetty kind of came in. And in 2013, as the year we were talking about, it felt like something was different about this particular team. Suarez was just scoring goals from half field. And we really wanted to like be able to make something official. The overall goal was to become an official Liverpool supporters group, and we can talk more about that. And just kind of communicating with people who were the faces that you've seen at the bar time and time again, and who would be involved in like taking this chapter from the next step to something official, to where we are now, where we're able to get tickets. We're recognized by the official supporters group over in LFC. If you go on their website and you type it in, you're like, I'm in New Haven for the day. Where can I watch a match? And they'll come down and they'll watch the match with us. It hasn't been easy, but it's definitely been one of the more rewarding things that I think I've done. So before I turn into Shetty and ramble on, I don't know if you have anything to add about that.
Yeah, is there a Shetty stop clock that we can get going? Minute 30
Don't worry,
maximum.
I will interrupt you.
Something just
I mean,
slaps
here's the
me.
thing.
Shay is somewhat sat back from the table, so he looks like a bit more of a casual observer than a...
It's usually my style anyway.
Yeah, he brought his own cooler of beer to this event. He's got his
using it
feet
as an ottoman.
Using it as an ottoman. Yeah.
Where you're so hard to mix. You were like so quiet, so loud, so quiet.
I knew this was going to be a problem.
It's fine. It's fine.
I mean, to kind of just add to what Greer said, I think that there, over time, were a certain group of people that kept showing up, and you'd have some come and disappear and then come back, some that were always there. But for me, it was always good seeing friendly faces that were all on the same page in terms of who they supported and what they were looking for, and being able to, shoot the shit. And there was kind of a struggle initially of whether or not we wanted to be official even, because we're...
Want to stay off the grid,
Yeah.
You keep having your fight clubs or whatever, crack parties.
Liverpool Fight Club, yeah. That's what LFC stands for.
That's right.
We're some really scary hooligans, us
think-
LFC New Haven folk.
Weren't they like...
We're going to ease the listeners into the Fight Club.
We're breaking the first rule, guys.
Yeah.
I thought they made it difficult, though. Didn't they make loads of hoops to jump through to become official originally?
Yeah, and we were small in the sense of...
I mean, all right, let's pause. Like, what does it even mean to be an official Liverpool supporters club? Like, what does that mean? Like, why do I care? Like, what is it? What's the difference between 15 people hanging out watching a soccer game and 15 people who belong to like this club?
We cannot possibly give you a reason to care about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Other people maybe, but probably not you.
Well, I mean, all right. So we talked about you can get tickets, right? So that's a benefit of being an official, which are very difficult to get tickets to Anfield. Supposedly, I don't know if you guys know StubHub or what's the deal.
To most Premier League grounds.
Okay.
Especially the bigger teams.
Right.
So, yeah, to be able to put in a request for allocated tickets for a season, this year we have, for the first half of the season, 3 matches. We have 14 tickets to each of those matches, and 2 of them are against traditional top 4 of the best teams in England. One of them is Manchester United, which is our most heated rivals. So we have 14 tickets at Anfield in December during the crazy time of the year to go see one of the biggest matches and fixtures in the entire league. And they gave them to us, and we also, the rate that we pay for them is like silly compared to what you would have to pay if you shot over there and tried to get it from somebody else or online, and you might even get scammed. So being a member of our supporters group, that is official. Just a small perk.
Yeah, and especially like at such a clip too. We went in April to see Stoke. Was it Stoke?
Yep.
Dreadful game. It was 0-0. But it was really exciting because it was in between our 2 European semifinal qualifiers. So like the city was electric, even if the match itself was pretty boring.
Right.
But we ended up starting with like 6 people, and then other people started hopping in, and there was probably about 5. I think we went with 5 additional people, but we could really only find like this one person has 1 ticket, and so they sat by themselves. So this other person has 2 tickets. Mm-hmm. So it's just I'd say like overall the tickets is like massive, but then also just being recognized by the club, feels, I think, pretty great, and just you feel like you're connected to something a little bit more than you. It's just not going to the pub and watching football. It's a connection to your friends, going out, drinking beers, but then also all your friends, you're connected to this, kind of club and the values of the club.
Which are what now? What kind of values do a club have exactly?
You are also a fan of this team.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I know.
You did say you were, right?
I felt like I was talking
But
to someone.
somebody has to play the straight man here. Like you do understand that literally nobody understands what you guys are talking about. So it's my job to like make sure that my audience members are like, "What the fuck?" All right, yeah, Liverpool club values, cool. So
I mean, Liverpool produced a video themselves last season about how we're more than a club, and it is a family. I suppose it's not massively different to any other sports team where the fans all get together. But I don't know. I've always felt like there was something more in it. We've befallen with tragedy before in European competition when a wall collapsed on a ton of fans in Heysel. We've had obviously the horrible events of Hillsborough in our past, and even though some of us weren't, I was alive and vaguely aware of it, but it was just before I got into the game. We all suffer together when that kind of things happens, and when when the lawyers come
the
around.
club motto is "You'll never walk alone."
Right,
So
exactly.
for those who don't know, I mean, it's it's like a song that they play at the end, beginning of end of games. Everybody sings along, and so there's a lot of camaraderie.
There's a lot of Irish influence in Liverpool. Obviously, Liverpool being a very northern city in the UK is known for its, familial kind of close family bonds and joviality. So there's a lot of that kind of bred straight into the club. It was born right in the streets of Liverpool.
Yeah.
Anfield Road is right there amongst all the houses. It's not one of those grounds that's been
So
overly
what is the
redeveloped.
most Liverpoolian American city?
This one.
This one, New Haven. Wow.
I mean, Chicago, I think, has a few.
You're not just saying that because you can get stabbed very easily.
Here's the thing. I don't know off the top of my head how many different supporters clubs are in different American cities.
Yeah.
Wherever the Irish people are, you're going to get a ton of Man United and Liverpool fans.
Mhm.
So, around, Chicago.
Well, I more
and-
mean like as far as the city goes, like
Oh,
Liverpool,
as
the
a
city.
comparison?
Yeah,
to-
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, Philadelphia is the city of brotherly love, right? So
Right. Yeah. Slashed people with boots.
yeah, I mean, their
Perfect.
fans are apparently not great.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I would compare them directly, but
Sounds like it's a comparison. That's
yeah.
good. Okay.
I mean, for our official supporters club to have 50 odd members last year, 60 members last year in this small city,
yeah,
I would say that this one is as
it's
much
pretty
akin
impressive.
to it as I can
it's a
find.
pretty
so.
huge growing group, So
I do remember going to Liffey's a lot, and not particularly whether I saw you two. I knew Steve-O from Kickball. I think that's how I initially got introduced to you. But I remember initially when I would go, I liked being around the other Liverpool fans, but there were also, I would also try to avoid getting massively involved with them. I was a bit of a, loner Liverpool fan, I guess it was. And it wasn't, I remember some guy would even give me his Liverpool business card to try and get me to join, or give me several, and pass them out to your Liverpool friends, and, So I kind of did more of a thing of encouraging my own friends to come and get involved, Josh and Brian and Billy and other people. Other friends who also had football, soccer in their blood anyway would join too, but I got a few people under the sort of Liverpool wings. And then at some point, I don't remember when the transition was particularly, but at some point you guys were running it with Jason and Mike and
yeah, and I think too a lot of it felt pretty like organic. Like it's tough to really pinpoint like exactly what's going on. It's like when did you and I finally finally kick on? But because so many people bring their friends, Dave brings Josh, I bring my friend Alex or whoever it may be, and then they integrate into the group, and then by then you would just have this group has been building over years, and now we have like the 50 or 60 like pretty consistent people that at a big match will be there, and then maybe the 20 or 25 that even if we're playing Stoke on a Monday or a Saturday morning at 7:30 will probably be coming out.
Yeah, I'm just not a 7:30 a.m. fan.
I'm not
a
either,
10
but
a.m.
yeah.
fan.
for UConn you are.
For you, oh yeah,
This
for
is
UConn,
different. It's the second.
I will wake up
Yeah.
this Saturday,
Right.
very early, to watch us probably lose to Rhode Island, which is just wow. I don't even know. Yeah, I want to get into this, guys.
But that's just you're a masochist.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I picked up the Sabres. I was like, yeah, UConn football's bad, but is it bad enough? I could multiply my miseries. I actually remember sitting at home, I was watching UConn football lose on my television and watching the Sabres lose on my laptop, and I was like, technology has truly increased my capacity to suffer simultaneously, you know? Like, I could have never done this 10 years ago.
See, I gifted you Liverpool Football Club, and you gifted me Yukon football.
I mean, UConn basketball, if you liked basketball, and they have been good at times and will be good again, I believe. Football, I'm not convinced, but it's fine. Okay, so official supporters club, they meet basically when Liverpool plays, so just figure out when that is. And right now they are meeting at Christie's.
They can also follow us on Facebook because we usually put up the events for whenever the matches will be.
That's right. So Facebook, that's pretty much it. I don't think you have an active Twitter presence as far as I'm aware.
We do. Twitter, Instagram, we're on there.
Okay.
Yeah, we're on there. Sorry, I should have spoken into this. Yeah. Yes, we're on Twitter and Instagram as well.
Okay.
We were going to do Snapchat, but that fell through.
I mean,
The Instagram account's a lot of reposting of Liverpool stuff.
yeah.
But the events do go up. In all fairness, the events
yeah.
go up on Instagram too. So
Yeah, no, it's so if you want to follow on Facebook, so they meet at Christie's currently. I mean, I assume as soon as Trinity reopens, that will be a very quick migration. No offense to Christie's, just not the home of the club currently.
No, and they were the first ones to kind of reach a hand out to us too when Trinity happened, and always under the understanding that, you know, this is going to be our home until Trinity opens, and then thank you, you know, like for all the support you provided, especially since we originally thought that it was going to be like 4 months, and now it's been over a year.
proper credit to Christie's and the
Okay,
Gooners.
so should we start a pool? When is Trinity opening?
December.
December is Dave's guess. What do you think, Greer?
I have a little inside knowledge as I went drinking on Saturday night with the Trinity guys, but having said that, I've been lied to for the last year. Not lied
It's not,
to.
yeah.
It's no, I know.
It's
I
the
know.
same for them.
Well, I heard on the Independent somebody had said that the landlord was like, it will be ready for occupation within 30 days.
It wasn't the landlord. It was Shane and Eddie that were interviewed, but it could be.
Somebody commented on it and was like,
I didn't see that,
I
no.
spoke to like the landlord who like rents this, you know, the apartments out, and was like, it's gonna be soon, but I don't.
Yeah, I think they've also been
It's a
part of the
random internet
frustration.
commenter.
Yeah, part of the frustration is that the landlord has been saying that for quite some time.
Well, fair. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the sooner the better. It's, you know, just not only that.
So no
it's
official guess, just because you have inside.
No,
information
I'll
and
say
you're
I'll
afraid?
say you know what, first couple weeks in November.
Okay. Ooh, happy birthday to me. Nice.
We
Yeah.
did just pass.
By the way, everybody, start thinking about gifts. November 9th. I actually have a show in Springfield, Mass. So for my many Springfield listeners, I will be at the Bing Performing Arts Center. This is a good time for a plug, right, guys?
Yeah, for a
came up,
show in
yeah.
Springfield to a New Haven based podcast.
The nice thing about having a podcast is, fuck you guys, I do what I want.
He also owns a cat in a house. Those are other gift ideas.
Right. So if you want to give me another cat, another house,
I'll get your cat something.
yeah, right. You get my cat something. You know, she likes food. And she doesn't really like toys so much, but, you know.
Hiding.
No, she's cool. But don't be too loud. She likes quiet, so that's good. All right, anyway, sorry, guys.
Yeah, so she's so glad we're recording this podcast at 9:00 at night.
Nah, she's fine. She's used to it.
She slept all day. Don't worry about it.
Right. She's good. So where were we?
Plug in your show.
Oh yeah, my birthday, early
Trinity
November.
guesses, that's it.
Trinity. Don't worry, guys. The editing ability is wonderful. That's like the best part of podcasting. Is like, nope, this is all bad. Delete. Speaking of deleting, Shetty, when do you think?
You
It would
have
be
to.
funny if I
What a
edited out.
seamless segue.
It would be funny if I deleted everything Shetty said, but left in the intro and just like he never came up.
That'd be brilliant. I
don't
wouldn't
have
even
much
be
to
mad.
work to do
I mean,
so
right,
far.
it would be-
I got to drink beers and watch you guys banter. It was fun.
That would be so much work though, not doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the sooner the better. We all have our guesstimates. You know, I'm the optimist. The yang, or did we determine the yin?
I think we said yin, probably,
okay, so I'm
but-
the yin.
can't
You were the
look it up.
one who threw it out.
Yeah,
there.
sorry, I should have done my research. I would say early second week in October.
Wow.
That is the.
That is-
yeah.
That's
optimistic viewpoint. I
That
think.
is, yeah.
I think when I saw Eddie last a few weeks ago, he was talking about October, but he also went, but
Yeah, it's also
probably not.
Yeah, it's also tough too. I just don't want to I know how many times and I know that a lot of the LFC New Haven fans are super just. Trinity was the home. We started really getting going.
And it was right as it got huge.
Yeah, that
and
is,
they were
the whole thing
great.
came together when
Yeah.
Shane and Eddie took over, and then we
Yeah.
moved the thing there. Obviously, we've had Eddie on, and he's a lifelong Man United fan, and
Right.
to
Such a
make
good
that
sports
decision
fan.
for his
Yeah.
business.
Oh, that's
he's,
been fun collaboration.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's in, and he even the
Eddie's
same
proof.
things when I
Just
saw
because you
him.
like Man U does not mean you're the worst human being
No,
ever, I guess.
absolutely far from it.
Wait, he did prove that?
I think so. He puts up with us.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, probably makes quite a bit of money off us. I don't know.
Well, but there is a human cost, Dave.
That's true.
Money isn't
That's
everything.
true. Well, Eddie, he's been on. He loves the banner. He loves the fact that the Liverpool fans are in there giving him shit, and he
Yeah.
can give it back.
Yeah, one week Eddie and I made a bet. Unfortunately, Liverpool completely outplayed Man United, but still lost 2-0. And then I had to show up at the next time at the bar wearing a Man United kit, which.
I just have
Yeah.
no idea why you would ever take that bet. Just
Yeah.
Football is so unpredictable.
In my defense, I had been drinking.
That's a great
I for one
defense.
find
Greer.
it shocking behavior.
It's my normal defense. Yeah.
And also, you were kind of on the topic of, going back to different bars and all this thing. Something that's also been kind of remarkable and cool to see is when we first got this going with a direction and a vision in mind, we were at Anna Liffey's, and everybody was very comfortable there. Things seemed like, the thing to do. And then Trinity opened, and they were opening and had asked us if we wanted to go there. And that was a whole meeting of the minds and people voting and seeing how they felt. And we took a risk, and it paid off really well.
Yeah, our members voting as well.
Yep,
Yeah.
members voted. And then the fire happened after a few seasons and then shifted over to Christie's. And they've treated us well, and we've gained membership since being there. And then going back, I mean, it's kind of interesting to think that we've bounced around so many times, but we've only grown through the process. So it kind of speaks to the nature of the direction, not only the group of people that we have, the direction we're heading, but also the sport in general, I think, in this country is really booming. And so,
Yeah, I can agree with you on that. I've been here almost 9 years now, and how free it is to access and get hold of it, and how interested people are has grown massively just in that time that I've been here.
And I mean, if more and more people are going to watch soccer or football, all we can do is try to not make them Chelsea fans.
Here.
I think that's an admirable goal. Those are the values of the club right there. I think we got it.
Yeah, fuck Chelsea.
Took some time, but we got there. Sometimes you have to explore these things. So what was I gonna say? Lost my
Just
thought.
so actually to touch, did you say that Shane and Eddie approached you guys about having the membership of the team, the supporters group move to Trinity? I thought you guys asked them.
Without going too inside baseball and do this as diplomatically as possible. Yeah, and I think a lot of us had a established relationship with Shane. Shane had been the chef at Anna Liffey's for years. Always was working when we were there. Always came in to cook for us very early.
Oh, is it cool to drag Liffey's now? Is that?
I mean,
Has it
at
been
this
long
point,
enough?
Yeah. I have no ill will against Liffey's. I actually, for a long time, I loved the guts of Anna Liffey's. I didn't particularly like the smell that Anna Liffey's became to be, but I loved it. I thought it was a great pub, especially to watch soccer in.
It did have the smelliest bathroom in the history
But
of the world.
it was like that. It was beloved by everyone in the city
Agreed.
until a point when all of a sudden it just wasn't. And,
Yeah.
Right.
And for me too, that was the norm. And I actually had a lot of conflict about it. But I just, at the end of the day, I put a lot of my faith into the guys from Trinity. Eddie, I mean, you guys would know. I think
Rightly so, yeah.
Both bought houses through him. Is that, yeah?
Oh no, one of us.
One of us,
No.
50% of us, the
Yeah.
other one. So
Yeah.
half of the people,
I would
half the
never
hosts here.
trust a Manchester United fan with my money. Are you insane? No, I didn't even know he was a realtor until after. I
good
don't
job,
know.
Eddie.
Yeah, I mean,
Self promotion's going well.
yeah. He won't even let me watch the Sabres, so Eddie, you can just calm down, all right? We're not that close. But going back to the point about soccer growing, it's basically catching up to baseball in TV ratings. And
Oh, yeah?
and one of the interesting things I saw was that it has a really high number of of female fans who consider soccer their favorite sport. You know what I mean? So when you think about what your number one sport is, it's actually more like female oriented than you would think. And so I think that's a huge opportunity for growth in the U.S. You know what I mean?
But as high school kids, everyone, middle school kids, you're all encouraged to play football, soccer, right? Rather than all of the just American sports. And I feel like later on, when people grow up and see that or maybe used to see that there was no money or future in it, they all gravitate to the larger sports in this country.
Right.
I think me and you have had several conversations about imagine if a ton of the best athletes in America
No.
went into the soccer team instead.
It would be crazy
right.
if the NFL's best players, the NBA's greatest players played soccer. The U.S. could be a great soccer nation.
Dominant.
But
Oh, I mean, I've coached for about a decade, and the talent of the kids that are playing nowadays in the United States compared to me and my friends knocking the ball around is just it's absolutely night and day.
have you
Is it
tried
because
this? By
they're
the way?
more immersed in it? No.
No, I mean, I just think they're more committed. I think there's better coaches now that see that soccer is really taken off in the United States, and just people in general. Like I think I grew up having my father coach, and he's just like, I watched a video that the club gave
I
me
think my
about how to
dad
trap
did,
a ball. Yeah.
There was a book about soccer rules, how to coach kids. Pretty basic.
It all starts at the grassroots.
But yeah, you got to try this. So there's a non-alcoholic beer from Athletic Brewing in Stratford, and it's meant to be like an IPA.
That's in Stratford?
Yeah. Do you want to try it,
That's
Greer?
not bad. Sure.
Yeah, I mean, for
For
non-alcoholic.
non-alcoholic beer,
Right, exactly.
it's very good, yeah.
Yeah, it's meant to be an IPA. It's, I mean, for not being beer, because non-alcoholic beer is trash.
Yeah.
So, you want to try it,
Pure
Shetty?
Nah, I'm good, thank you.
All right. Yeah,
He
I
has
mean,
real beer.
Shetty's a beer loyalist, and I get that. I appreciate that about him,
As he drinks his Samuel Adams.
Yeah, so I get that. Today was the 6 months for me for not drinking, which is crazy and weird, but it's been good for me, which is, hard to admit.
It's been terrible for me.
But I guess at this point, I know it's terrible for a lot of my social relationships. It is really.
I think that's the first time I've voiced that opinion, though.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, it's known.
Why not
Yeah.
do it on a podcast?
Yeah. Right. Why not air our
in public, I support him wholeheartedly, and, it's
Right.
time.
And also coming in, watching the Liverpool matches with us. It's very much a drinking culture, and for
Yeah.
you to continue and carry on, man. Good on
It's
you.
so
dude.
hard to get anything done when we have a 7:30 game. Because by 10:30,
Oh yeah.
it's too late
That's
for
how
you.
UConn
That day is
tailgates
done.
would go for me. I'd be almost blackout by 10 a.m. And then what
That
can
is
you
the best
do
way
for
to
a
do
day?
a. That's the
Yeah.
best way to do a UConn
Oh yeah,
football
no,
game.
you should
Yeah,
not
sure.
be.
I don't- how
you
are
don't
you
remember
going-
what you
yeah.
see. Yeah.
This now that UConn football's in full swing, this is going to be a real test of your sobriety.
I
Yeah.
had not thought about that
Oh
angle.
yeah. It is truly grim
Oh,
viewing.
man, this
Yeah.
is just terrible.
Oh,
I'm
so
not even
bad.
drunk. Yeah.
It's kind of funny at this point. I'm so detached from
Right.
hope. So it's just at this point, I'm just watching a train wreck. I'm yeah, I mean, the flames are so high, so that's nice.
Yeah.
But you couldn't not do it, It's just
Yeah, I
ingrained
could.
in you. Could you? You would just stop going and. Why the
I'm
fuck
saying I
haven't
could
you done
in
that
theory.
already?
I'm saying I could in theory. I'm not gonna. Because
Right.
I'm a loyal person. It's just
Right.
not gonna.
But that's my point. You're loyal to it. You're not going to stop going.
Right. So, yeah, I'm sorry I quit drinking, Dave.
It's honestly,
Yeah.
that's really fine. I love it.
Yeah, it's been good for my comedy. It's been bad for my dating life.
I mean, I've drunk less.
that's
'cause
okay.
I have one
Right.
less extreme drinking buddy.
Yeah, I know. Me and Dave could
It's
get
funny how that works out.
Hey,
me
Greer,
and
you
Dave
gotta
will be
stop
so
soon.
good at just getting recklessly drunk for no reason, and it was I still miss just sitting at the corner of a bar, and you're not doing shots. You're not we're not woo. We're just just sitting there drinking quietly ish. Making friends with bartenders, and then next thing you know, you're I think I've had 9 beers, and I feel a bit off, but it's great, I miss it, honestly.
Yeah, I
but,
mean, it did help that you knew where every happy hour was.
Right, yeah. And
Otherwise,
I
that
know a
would've
lot
been
of people, so people are yay, and I'm oh, cool.
The amount of free drinks I got did go up exponentially when I was hanging out with
Right.
you. Yeah.
But, yeah. But I wake up and I barely hate myself, so that's nice.
You're a much more productive man.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. Let's say productive.
It's easy to be when you have 2 extra days in the week.
2 days.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I meant that aren't devoted to being insanely hungover.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the problem is you go to I go to a lot of open mics, so I go to like tonight there's an open mic at PST. I'm gonna go there. Normally, if I'm drinking, I'll have 3, maybe fucking 4 drinks. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna die, but I'm gonna wake up and be like, "The fuck am I doing?"
Yeah, all right. All the sensible angles point to stopping. But
Yeah. No, I
you
get
save
it.
money, you lose weight, you
Yeah.
can do more stuff with your days.
No, I mean,
Cheers.
okay, drinking is fun. I'm not gonna take away from it. Drinking and drugs are super fun, kids. Try it at home. It is a good time. The reason the people do it feels fucking good. I get it.
Plug the alcohol industry.
That's right. Hey, man, I still need sponsors. So Nebco. You
knew alcohol.
Yeah, Stratford
That's Stratford,
Athletic.
man. They can sponsor
Athletic
you.
Brewing Co.
This is free for them right now.
This
They
is
could-
free.
They could
God,
chuck a case your way.
If you do not send me $100, I will edit out everything. I don't understand how this threat works because you'll never hear it, but
They're actually making money off of it.
right, somehow. There's some sort of royalty system at play here. I don't know what's going on. All right.
Did I miss something, or did we go straight into the ads?
There was
We
no
just-
jingle or anything.
It's seamless, yeah.
No. What happens is about 40 minutes in, we just go straight into being weird. There's no all right, now I'm bored of whatever we were talking about before. Let's just talk about something else. Does anybody have anything they would like to discuss? Anything on your minds, guys?
I would
before
just say plug the membership for a second.
Okay.
How do people? What do they pay? What do they get for that?
So yeah, if you want to become a member of our local supporters club, you can come meet us at Christie's at the moment on any match day. Google those. And we've got a number of folks in leadership that would be happy to greet you. There's Tremaine, Steve, Jason, Mike, and myself. And the membership this year is $25. And you get a custom shirt. Josh is wearing one right now. It's nice to see.
Oh, yeah. I was rocking this at the gym earlier. I'm pretty sure I
hang
saw
on.
some ladies and dudes checking me out.
We can work this out. I just thought we can work it out in shirts. This will be my 4th. So whenever
Yeah.
That was my third or
I've
fourth.
lost every single.
Right, but that's how
every
long
single
I've
year, yeah.
known you and been involved.
Yeah,
4 shirts worth.
for sure. About
Yep.
4 shirts worth.
That's how good our friendship is. 4 shirts. Not bad. Room to grow, though.
I mean, on any game day, you're going to find, I would say, at least one member of the leadership team there. It would take a lot for all 4
Five
of
now.
you.
We just introduced Tremaine to the
Oh, nice.
board. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So who's the board?
Myself, Shetty, Jason Morse, Steve Castellan. Actually, 6, right? Nicholson. And we introduced Tremaine this year.
All right.
Excellent.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's always going to be at least one of them there. I would say on any day, even the quietest days, there's probably at least 10 fans there.
Yeah.
And even if it's not a direct member of the leadership team, someone else will be there to give you information.
And I don't know when.
Hang out with you.
Yeah, I don't know when this is going to come out, but this is a really big month for Liverpool. There's quite a few matches. We got Spurs. What's the date today? I don't know. When is this coming out? That's what I'm trying to hesitate. I'm like,
It
let's
will
not go too behind the
probably
scenes.
come out.
Okay.
No,
Yeah,
it'll
so we got-
probably come out Monday.
Okay, so we had just played Spurs and thrashed them 3-0. But the same month, we're playing Chelsea twice, a couple Champions League games against PSG and Napoli, and then City at the end of the month, and then Arsenal early November. So quite a few in the next 5-6 weeks. Big matches to come out to, and I just say come out, have a couple beers. I know the Chelsea match in a couple weeks is 12:30.
Or a couple coffees for us nerds.
Or for a couple coffees. Yeah. And just honestly, see, I think that most people that come out realize that it's usually have a pretty good time, and we end up seeing them slowly. It's funny, you see one face at the bar, and then within a couple months, just like Dave kind of alluded to earlier, went from oh, I think I know that guy, to all of a sudden I'm being asked to do a podcast at his house.
Yeah.
And there's
this
also
is a big moment for you guys, I know,
Right.
to be
Very
here.
proud.
Yeah, thanks, man. I'm glad to be here on this journey with you.
Is this
It's all about me.
how are you guys all going to explain to your parents that you finally made them proud?
This is why I'm a Liverpool fan.
Yeah.
It was more about Mike than the team.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, yeah, we're all trying to get Mike's approval. I think if I eventually sell out MSG, he will respect me, but I can't say for sure. No, I'm just kidding. Cool. I wonder if my dad listens to this. We'll find out, I guess. I'll ask him.
He comes to a lot of shows.
If so, hey, Mike, how you doing? Thanks for all the great material. The new bit is working great, so if you could just keep being weird, I will also be weird. It will be great. Anyway, sorry.
Hi, Mr. Levinson.
Yeah, that's right. I do have a new dad joke. It's pretty great. So,
and there's also the plug in terms of becoming a Liverpool supporter during a season that could be the one where we are.
I am now going to have to play foil to this.
Yeah, the common Liverpool tropes.
I just feel like you guys are like Lucy with the football. Just come on, man. Just don't hope. You're better off.
Let me reframe that. We're playing like really exciting attacking football. It's a lot of fun. Coming out, scoring goals. We have some incredible players. This is like,
I think it's as good as the team has been.
It's a really fun time to be a Liverpool fan, and just to be able to experience that with a great group of people.
Yeah, don't do something stupid and like start watching Arsenal. Like I know.
Oh, this is not the time.
I know that there is a New Haven.
Maybe that glory is ahead of them again.
Gunners Club, but do you want to hang out with people who call themselves Gooners? No, you don't. You know that. I know that. You're intellectual. That's why you listen to this. So I'm just telling you.
Their mascot is a dinosaur, though.
Is it?
Yeah, big green dinosaur called Gunnosaurus.
Oh, I thought it was just a cannon.
That's the emblem on the badge, but
right.
their mascot, modern day.
Right.
So, Gunnosaurus, a big green dinosaur. That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
And
maybe we should all become Arsenal fans. I would say.
Okay, motion pass.
There you go.
This is Arsenal.
Welcome to the Arsenal podcast, everybody.
So, guys, tell me the story of how you got into Arsenal.
This will be how you know that somebody made it this far in the podcast. Like, wow, that was a pretty curveball in there, minute 45.
And something that's been also great is like leading up to the Champions League final last year was absolutely incredible in terms of like meeting new people and people like seeing a team that plays exciting football, like Greer was referencing. And then by the time the final came around, like packing out multiple bars and
the finals were crazy. The European final and the Champions League final were just like suffocatingly packed.
I had a very enjoyable season last season. Liverpool were great. England were great in the World Cup. I mean, not great, but like way better than we've been.
Yeah.
No one won anything, but like to be that close to two things.
At least you were in the
great
cup.
Season. Yeah. Oh hell yeah. Oh, was somebody else? Did I not mention? No.
Yeah, Italy.
Yeah. I did allude. We haven't even talked about this yet, which is insane because I did allude earlier to LFC New Haven being world famous, and of course after the Stoke game, a couple of the guys, Mike Nicholson, one of the leadership team,
and James Thompson.
Yeah, they actually scalped tickets somehow. Is that what happened?
Yeah, I think they paid a pretty penny, but just through knowing people and just going over there to Liverpool now, Mike and I have gone a couple times and probably a third time this year. Getting to know people, and this is just kind of, we alluded to like what are Liverpool values. You go over there, and within a couple minutes of like meeting people, they're just like, "Oh, do you need tickets to Rome?" It's not easy, but I'll be able to try to work on something for you. And then Mike's become Facebook friends with all these people, and just has like a really deep connection.
He's an incredibly nice person, which I think helps.
Yeah, I have not been given the same.
Yeah, I feel like
if you do come down to the bar, you want to hope you run into him first.
Yeah, I was like, this would not happen to me, Mike. Yeah, I can see that. He's a fucking saint. If I was me, they'd be like, "Oh, you want Rome tickets? Get fucked, man. What do you think?" Yeah, like, well, fair. That is absolutely fair. I was thinking that too. Okay.
Yeah, they went to the semifinal, which we won amazingly. But yeah, I don't know. Does one of you want to finish the story?
Go ahead.
Yeah. So James Thompson and Mike Nicholson were in the crowd, and they were in the away fan section, and they were close enough to the pitch, but around the pitch was a track because that's where Roma plays their matches, Olympic Stadium, right? And after we won, we were heading to the finals of the Champions League. All the players started coming to where the fans were, the away fans were, who were going absolutely mental. And we have our LFC New Haven scarves, which are, something that we have for merchandise. that you can buy, $10. And
Does that
Mike,
not come with a membership?
And I'm not sure if that's the price. We'll have to check.
yeah, might be 20. Might be 20
for this week only.
Whatever this comes
reference,
out.
Between two.
That's your promo. You make it to minute 47.
Yeah.
I'll edit myself in $40.
So anyways, Nicholson grabbed James Thompson's scarf off of his shoulder and just threw it at one of the Liverpool players, Dejan Lovren, who then picked it up. This guy from Croatia who knows nothing about who we are or anything, and just holds it up in front of the entire 10 or so thousand traveling fans. And there's all over the internet. Lovren was wearing it in the locker room afterwards for videos. It was...
Yeah, one of the main pictures that got picked up by a lot of the media was just him holding that scarf front and center, just full shot. It was on the Guardian's email blast that next day.
Yeah, no, it was everywhere. I got quite a few upvotes on the New Haven subreddit for that pick as well. So,
Nice.
I mean, I'm going to probably spend those on something nice soon, I think.
Was he aiming for Lovren, or was he just attempting to get it into the...
I mean, he's going to be just launching it,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Nicholson's got a great arm, man. You know,
Nice.
he hit his
lefty
hit his
or righty?
target. I have no idea.
Oh,
I can just imagine James being there going, come on, and then seeing how it unfolds.
We gave James a new scarf free
Naturally,
of charge.
yeah.
Oh
Free
my
of charge. Yeah. We're kind.
only $40. That's the kind of values the club has, and it's about brotherhood. Okay, guys, we're going to play some games, and then we're going to get the fuck out of here. So for the first game, we're going to play, because I still haven't thought of a better game. You'd think by now, but, I haven't. So the first game we're going to play is Be a Rich Mayor for the Day. I'm going to call it now. And so basically, you get $1 million. You're in charge of New Haven. You get to kind of do whatever you want with it. Don't worry about all those regulations. So it's just like the actual city of New Haven, I'm just kidding, guys. It's probably fine. It's probably not corrupt at all. Anyway.
Yeah, everything's above board in this city.
Yeah, that's right. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so you get to be mayor, $1 million you get to do. We've had a couple ideas. Like I think Dave mentioned shutting down College Street to pedestrian traffic we discussed.
Which I stole from you.
Which you stole from me, that's right. That was really just me parlaying that into patting myself on the back, obviously.
I think I have my own one
ideas.
today.
Okay.
Yeah, I was...
Do you want to start then?
Sure.
Okay.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
mine was just to spend $1 million on getting Liverpool to come and play Elm City Express.
Okay. Wow. Do you think you do it for $1 million?
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah. Sure, yeah, for the
Right.
sake of this game, yeah.
I mean, if they were already nearby,
Right.
playing a
They
game
wouldn't
of
fly
Fenway
over,
or whatever,
but
just
right.
drive
They're on
down.
MetLife, like, hey,
Yeah, LFC New Haven's right
hop
here.
over.
If we could get Dejan on it,
Yeah. Okay. That's a valuable use of money, I would say. Sure. All right. Do either of you guys have ideas about
How much money are we talking again?
just $1 million?
$1 million?
$1 million.
I was talking about this with a few people recently. This is totally, not improving the school system or anything that's actually
you
really
could run the school
important.
system for a day with that money. So I
Yeah,
wouldn't worry
that's
too
fair,
much about
but
it.
still makes a difference.
Yeah.
But for entertainment and fun sake, right downtown, having a place that was like a Dave and Buster's esque mini golf, like entertainment place.
I was actually I had heard on the New Haven subreddit that there is a Dave and Buster's coming. I don't have any confirmation on that, but somebody was like, "Oh, when is the Taco Bell and the Dave and Buster's coming?" And I'm like, "Hold on, I know about the Taco Bell with the beer."
I forgot.
Has
about the
this
Taco
been
Bell.
approved by Yale? I don't know.
Yeah, the Taco Bell canteen is definitely happening. That is like there's
Wait,
full on
this is
construction.
downtown?
Chapel
Yeah.
Street.
Oh.
Right on Chapel. Yeah,
Yeah.
they are working
Yeah,
hard.
Taco Bell in which you can purchase alcohol.
Yeah, that's right.
Cantina,
Yeah.
right?
Welcome
Yeah,
to the
seriously.
future, ladies and gentlemen. Right.
You thought Taco Bell
think
gave
there was
you, yeah, you thought Taco Bell gave you diarrhea. How about if you chase it down with a rum and coke?
You know,
And some fire sauce.
And that ad for Taco Bell Cantina is also for free.
No,
Well, I mean,
we're gonna
try
let
and
them
get something
hostage
out of it,
as
at least,
well.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you would like one chalupa,
okay.
put in the promo code.
So let's say it's not. I don't know. I have no confirmation on that. I'm not going to figure it out in the next 10 seconds, but it might be happening. But good idea. Have you been to the only game in town in North Haven?
I've been, yes.
It's a weird place, huh?
But imagine if it was downtown.
I know that would be pretty good. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Go-kart track
It'd be
downtown.
even creepier. All right, maybe not the go-kart.
Sure.
Just close
The
a couple
indoor-
of streets. There you go. Close a couple of streets. Mario Kart around the city. I've got 2 ideas today.
Drunk
Two
driver.
ideas.
Is that a
Okay,
game?
okay. Save something for the can, man. Come on. All right, Greer, you got anything?
Sure. Unlike
Into
Shetty-
the mic,
Yeah,
please?
yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Christ. Yeah, honestly, I think that I coached for a while in New Haven, so I'd probably want to do something soccer related. I feel like a lot of kind of soccer, like there's a lot of different communities. If you drive around New Haven, whether there's leagues in the Boulevard and something like that, just finding a way to kind of revamp and make a new New Haven youth league. That a lot of people in the city could get excited for, because I feel like there's the East Rock League and just really connecting those neighborhoods. So just use that for that capital. Not as exciting as a go-kart track on College Street, but
No, but I actually
yeah.
do wish I could give you $1 million now. That is a great idea, I think. So.
I'm happy I went first. Just put it that way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Which is why I let you go first, just so I can make myself seem like such a better person than you.
Nice. Yeah, I'm thinking some sort of like zip line, you know?
If not for the kids, definitely a zip
Oh,
line.
I mean, I would say 100,000 for the zip line and the rest for insurance. You know, I think we really
Where are you
gotta.
trying to get
the
to and
next-
From where to where?
I think from 900 Chapel over the green into a ball pit that also serves beer. You know?
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe there's a bar at the top. I don't really know how it works, you know, but
Grand plans.
that
I
was
like
the
it.
first idea that popped into my head in the moment, so we're gonna go with that.
Forget the kids. I'm behind the zip line idea.
I mean, that would be awesome, flying over
Is
the
it
green.
like a day or?
No, like forever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Actually, we should just, you know what? We replace all cars with zip lines, I would say. We just. How have we not done this before? I feel like I just solved all of our transportation problems.
This is a Bioshock Infinity.
And it's only hour 1.
right. Where's Doug? He should have.
Oh.
He should have been
If
on this
only-
week.
If only we knew the head of.
No, it's great because now I have the idea ready for when I interview him. I'm like,
True.
Doug, I have news. I thank God you're
Thankfully,
sitting.
to my stupid Liverpool friends, I have some great questions for you. Who saw that coming out of this one?
Yeah. So, cool. I thought that was a great job, everybody. Good job. All right, so we're gonna play one more game. We're not gonna call it by its misogynistic name anymore because we're trying to be good people now. So I guess we're just gonna call like, love, hate. Yeah, that's what we'll call it. But you know what it really is. Listen, no, I'm just kidding. So basically, you're gonna every podcast we kind of pick something to do. So we've done pizza, restaurants, bars, you know, all kinds of stuff. So this is like a soccer themed podcast. I thought it would be fun to choose European football clubs, but not Liverpool, obviously. So like if you have like love for another club for whatever reason, you know what I mean? I think that would be and then yeah, so like will be like, oh no, this is a club I just have respect for or whatever, and then love is like, well, if I had to choose, if Liverpool didn't exist, who would I support? And then, you know, hey, I think pretty self-explanatory. I think everybody gets what I'm saying, right? Yeah, good. Okay, cool. So let's start with like. Dave?
I mean, in the Premier League, I would definitely say Everton.
It does not have to be
Newcastle.
Premier,
I'm just
I would
saying.
say. Yeah.
For someone in Europe, I have always liked Barcelona. I can't quite bring myself to love them because, you know,
Right.
but I have always liked them. I've always enjoyed the way they play, the La Masia, the way they set up, and
Yeah.
I got to go to a game once. It was fantastic. So
And there are
that's
some
my,
former Liverpool greats.
Right,
playing
yeah,
over
yeah.
there. Yeah.
yeah, it's hard to fully love them,
Right,
but
right.
I definitely do like them.
Okay. Greer?
So for I'll
Yep.
go with Celtic.
Okay.
Yeah, just I think that was a team that I gravitated towards for a long time, playing in the Scottish Premier League. But unfortunately, it's just been incredibly uninteresting to watch them whatsoever,
Okay.
as they've won like the last 7 years.
It
in a
is
row,
tough
something
when
like
there's
that.
basically no
There's no
competition.
competition.
Even
Yeah.
Brendan Rodgers can win there. I mean, it's not nice.
Hey, let's see if Stevie can do it then.
Yeah,
true,
there you
yeah.
go. All right. Shetty?
I would say, in terms of like, gonna strangle you. I would say Atletico Madrid would be a team that I enjoy watching. Always very structured. They put up a fight in a league that's kind of dominated by two of the world powers, if you will, and they always keep it interesting. So I respect that.
Cool. I'm gonna say, who is there? What is that terrible town you're from? Oh, yeah, Peterborough. Posh. The Posh squad, I would say, we might like team. Because they were the poshest team in football.
Definitely.
You know?
Yep. Super posh
so
people.
if you're looking for travel tips, which you obviously are, Peterborough, United Kingdom, great town. There were at least 3 bars, I would say. And only 2 of them were terrible.
One of them was on a boat. Yeah, I mean, I would,
That was an interesting smell.
Right.
Yeah.
I would dare anyone who
Is Peterborough United? Peterborough.
Yeah, Peterborough United.
Okay, that's what I thought. Peterborough
mighty
United, posh.
Yeah.
Because
Top of their league at the moment, I think.
Because
League
the
One.
owner wanted to make it the poshest team and give them fancy uniforms. It's
know,
just such a brilliantly stupid idea.
This is one of those
cannot love
things
it.
that I definitely know the answer to, but still have to Google every time because I forget. There was a good reason. I think it stood for... I can't remember now. See, I'm going to have to Google it again.
Yeah.
It's not to do with money or poshness, surprisingly, but...
Yeah. I looked it up on Wikipedia myself
Oh,
once.
did you?
Yeah,
So do you know?
I forgot.
Yeah, exactly. It's not information that my brain needs to retain.
But at least we're passing this lack of information on, Dave.
But
That's the
yeah,
important
definitely go to Peterborough.
Yeah.
My family will meet you for a drink, probably.
Absolutely, yeah.
But there's a
At
cathedral.
one of the terrible bars that Josh just spoke about.
part. Just text me. I assume if you're still listening, you have my phone number. Great.
Yeah, there's a great football team there. They're very likable. It's true.
Okay. All right, so love. David.
That's me again, isn't it? I didn't
Yeah.
really- I'm going to say Arsene Wenger's original Arsenal team.
Okay.
Not just Arsenal, because I don't love Arsenal, but
Right.
if you had to pick any other team that's been playing football since I've been watching that just get it right, so right, it was them. They were breathtaking to watch, and he brought Thierry Henry to the Premier League, and that's the greatest gift anyone has ever given me.
Wow. High praise. Okay. Greer?
All right, I'm going to try to wiggle out of this before eventually giving you an answer. Can I at least say, I'd say maybe in the same vein, Juventus when Zidane was playing there at his absolute prime. I think if you were to identify like one player outside of, and I just can't like once he went to Real Madrid and with those guys and the Galacticos and they were just buying a player for $100 million every single year. But when he was playing for Juve, some of his greatest goals scored there, and he just remains to this day probably my favorite player that's never worn a Liverpool jersey.
All right.
I wasn't aware that we could time travel for this answer.
Yeah.
So I'm going
Laws
to do the
of physics
same.
actually don't apply up here.
That's fair. So going back into time and watching the sport, I would say the Brazilian team, bringing it international.
So now,
We're not even doing European
Yeah.
clubs
Yeah,
anymore. Yeah.
I'm
Okay,
breaking
guys.
all the rules.
Just
Not
tell
even
me
club.
about a time that you saw a soccer ball. How about
Yeah.
that, guys? Just like tell me about your love for you
I love my high school team.
Yeah.
Oh, don't get me started on that.
404 Lions.
Did we also preface this? We couldn't say Liverpool, so the
Right,
the
no
fan-
Liverpool.
Yeah, okay.
I mean,
just
this
so
is
the
meant to be
listeners
basically
know.
other European clubs.
All right,
So,
fine.
But, you know,
That's the thing. You can't
but it's fine.
love Liverpool and love any other team. I don't
Right.
think. So that's why you have to pick a
Yeah.
moment in another team's history that you particularly liked. I think.
Okay.
It's really unfortunate because I don't like agreeing with Michael Greer, but I try to think about my heritage and where my family's from, half Indian, half Scottish. The Indian Premier League's starting to boom. Invest now.
The Indian Premier League is like actually the name of the cricket competition over there, and it's way bigger. I can promise you. So
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
the Indian Premier League is. Called
I haven't
something
heard
else.
that.
Once again, an
Okay.
Englishman telling.
Hey, we just stuffed them 4-1 in cricket today. In fact, so.
Oh, anyways.
Congratulations.
Yeah. But Celtic is
Good
a
job,
team
colonizers.
a team that I would also try watching and, bought kits when I was over across the pond and
They are sharp kids.
That is
They
the
are. They look
Atlantic
great.
Ocean for you listeners.
yes.
Sorry.
Back to you, Josh.
Good. Really petered out there, which I think is what you want. you know?
Smooth transition.
Yeah, I find that that's the way that I do my comedy too. I just like to trail off and not. Yeah, it's good.
hard to always
After
have
I'm
a
like,
segue.
yeah, no, you don't want to end on a joke. That would be crazy. Okay, for me, my love would I think be Nasty Leeds.
Nice.
Just because Leeds was like my favorite English city that I hung out in. It reminded me like if New Haven was a real city. I was like, oh, this is nice. It's a pretty dope place. I had a good time there. And just reading the history of Leeds and what a farcical, like, to go from, like, a huge club to be just, it's such a hilarious, tragic
They
fall.
definitely got it wrong.
And I'm just like, I get that emotionally. That's, like, who I root for. I'm like, you idiots.
They weren't destroyed, though.
Self-inflicted wounds are my fave.
They
so.
didn't completely self-destruct. They still exist. They're back
They
out
do,
there.
yeah. They're, within the championship right now.
Yeah.
They've almost got promoted a couple seasons, but not quite. I'm looking forward. It's going to be tough for me to pick a team when
I
they
think
get
they started
promoted.
well, too, yeah.
I might betray Liverpool.
Wow.
Hey, listen, I watched our
This is the wrong room for that conversation.
Next year, same time, the Leeds supporters group. Party of one.
We meet at this alley near my house. Bring your own wrap chips because they will not be provided. Your
Membership is free. Wait, we'll pay you. Come on, join us.
Walker's ketchup flavor
I will
only.
not pay you. It's fine. Okay. Great job, everybody. Hated. Most hated.
And we're not allowed to say Man United.
I mean, we can say Man United because I just feel like why sugarcoat it, I guess.
Done.
Why do you hate Man United? I mean,
Because you have to.
okay, fair enough.
Again, that is a thing that definitely was, when I was growing up and watching them. Why do we hate United, Mum? Just because we do. You have to. It was kind of the thing. And I know more about it now because of the history. You watch those games and they're intense and the players are dicks.
I mean,
to
I
the other
hate the
fans
Yankees. So when they lose, it
God,
makes me happy.
I respect them. You have to respect how good they are.
No,
you
I
know,
don't.
Well, you don't have
That's
to.
just not the case.
With Man United, you do, and especially with Ferguson having been there. There's players that I fucking hate. I fucking hate Gary Neville. I fucking hate that guy. And he's an excellent pundit, and that pisses me off. But he was a wonderful football player. I loved him when he played for England. So you have to. If you're a fan of the game before the team, you have to respect that first. But then otherwise, fuck them. Just fuck
I'm more
them.
of a fan of just pure hate. I don't have to admit anything about anybody I don't like. Jimmy
Yes,
Carter was
I
a
do know,
wonderful president. Don't really know where that came from, but all right. Maybe vaped a little too much this episode. Who knows, That's
Too much
something you
juice.
got to figure out. Hey, it's been too long since we recorded. I've gotten out of the habit. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, Greer, hated.
Sure. I'll just spread the wealth a little bit, as I do hate United as well. I think that Dave summed it up.
It's always good to reinforce that,
It's just I can't let it go by without saying that I hate Man United. But I'm going to say Chelsea. Maybe growing up, coming into soccer, and this is going to be a generalization, but I have the mic and they don't. So just a lot of these people. A lot of the people that I knew became Chelsea fans when Chelsea. They weren't fans in the 90s when Chelsea hadn't won anything, but became fans the second that the team got bought over. So there was this sense of almost rubbing it in my face about how successful they were, but also knowing that really they hadn't suffered at all as a fan. They're like, what's the best team right now?
Yeah.
Oh, Chelsea? Oh, they just got bought over by a Russian billionaire and hired a brand new coach who just won the Champions League. Yeah, let's. I'm going to go with that team.
Proper glory supporters.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than having gone through 26, 27 years of my team aren't bad by any fucking judgment, but some of the ups and downs, and then you just get these people that come in and all they've seen their team do is win, and the second it doesn't go well, it's all difficult for them. Yeah, I had that. There was a guy in the grocery store one time wearing a Chelsea shirt around when Peter Cech got injured, and I remember saying to him, "Oh yeah, it's a shame about Cech," and he just had this blank look on his face, and I hate that you would put that shirt on and wear something that you have no knowledge about at all. Is weird to me. So I know exactly the kind of fans you're talking about.
Okay.
I know some
Shitty.
nice Chelsea fans, but
And that does not include you, Tom Choma.
Nice.
Boy.
it's
Although
all right.
you should-
He is
if-
not listening to this.
If you've been
I'm
listening
not-
for the last 50 minutes, you know what, Choma? I give you a lot
Yeah,
of
it's a
credit.
bit of love because you've been paying fucking
I
attention.
wouldn't be shocked if he hate listens.
That would be a very Choma thing.
I really got to edit all this out. Josh, if you got to this point, go back. Get some of that out of here. Okay. And we're back.
I think it'd be tough for me to say another team just because those are the two that I do hate the most. And I would say for different reasons on top of what these two have said. I would say one for Chelsea during the time period where I've really enjoyed and really fallen in love with Liverpool. There have been some crazy, crazy battles. And somehow they tend to come out on top more so than not. And most of the time you just kind of look and watch the match and say, how did that just happen? And so it's more from like the game match standpoint. I would say from United front, it would be, there are more people that I interact with, that I'm close with, that are United fans, and born and bred to also hate them and hate their players, like Ander Herrera. I would drown in a lake right now and with no remorse.
Jesus Christ, this went from incredibly diplomatic, like, it's really not personal, it's about the matches, to I would hold this man underwater until the last breath left his body.
And that's what Man United does.
Yeah.
This whole round is defunct. Why are we even trying to pretend we hate any other team more than you?
Yeah, so I guess you're right. And there are some people that I am close to that also really love United, so the banter's really good. It's like it's healthy, but it's angry, and yeah, that makes it fun as well.
Good point. If this was the original version of this game, we couldn't say Man United because we couldn't get rid of them. It would not be the same without them.
Yep, I get it. Yeah.
Back to you, Josh.
Okay, thanks.
Back to the studio.
How many of those transitions are we going to...
Thanks for passing over to me, Shetty, with the weather. All right. Oh, boy. I would say for my hate, my real hate is Chelsea. Man United has not been that great since I've been watching. Like, for me, it's almost farcical, the idea that they were so dominant. Like, I know it happened. I remember, like, knowing in, like, the 90s and, I remember knowing of it in the Premier League, but I didn't really care. And so now they're sort of like this hugely expensive club that continually disappoints its fans, which to me is like kind of makes them the Cowboys, which is hilarious. And I'm like, good, fuck them. Whereas Chelsea like does win the league and just like infuriates me. And they just like something about, and they have like racist fans. Like there's just a lot of shit to not like about them. But
that's right, because you came in after Ferguson had already left. That
yeah,
kind of
absolutely.
13-14, yeah.
Right. And so, but I would actually say, so just to give a different answer, I would say Madrid, Real, just because fuck Sergio Ramos.
I do hate them as well.
Yeah. Like it just, I guess now that Ronaldo's gone, I hate them a little less just because that'll happen. But, God, it just fuck Sergio Ramos so much. Like just to take Salah out, like
he's such a smug asshole.
It's just like what a game we could have had.
So much bigger and more athletic than me, I would,
It's all right. Shay's going to drown him
to a duel. Yeah,
challenge him to a duel.
Shetty's going to hold him underwater.
I mean, I think he gets to use a gun in a duel, so his athleticism is not that. He probably could draw faster than you, though.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
He looks like he's killed a few men in a duel.
I wouldn't take me in a duel over anyone.
Oh yeah, no, I've seen you try to do athletic things.
I've tried to see you take your phone out of your pocket.
I'm a computer engineer who laughs at your athleticism, so like that's where you're at, Okay, guys. Well, that about does it. Thank you guys so much for coming. Dave Form, Michael Greer, Andrew Shetty. Do you guys have anything? Oh, so, Liverpool, New Haven, is there a website? Just Facebook is the best way to get a hold of you guys?
Yeah, social media is the best way. We have a Facebook account and then Twitter handle and Instagram, both at LFC New Haven.
Okay, LFC New Haven, not too hard to find. Come down to Christie's, hang out with us, have a beer or a coffee as the situation may be. Come vape with me. We'll have a good time.
Sometimes you just have stuff to do and just can't, crack a beer at 7:30 in the morning.
Yeah, agreed. It's hard. It's not to. You're in a bar with other people who you drink with often.
Fair enough.
And their coffee's real bad too. Oh gosh, guys, now the Trinity's was a lot better, but my lord,
you do have to spend some money to feel like you have earned your place in their bar using their electricity and.
Yeah, I feel like you guys are drinking enough. I don't feel bad anymore.
Yeah, I go there other times actually. You're right.
I feel it'll be okay.
Who would have thought Irish pubs had horrendous coffee?
Yeah, weird. Cool. So yeah, Liverpool, New Haven. As for me, I have some shows probably. When? Hard to know for sure. I think there's something in October in West Haven, October 20th or thereabouts. I'm organizing something.
I love how you.
But I haven't booked any of the comics, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. That's like a month away.
I love how you're really taking advantage of this outlet to promo yourself. You could have written them down, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I'm doing a charity thing at Three Sheets this Thursday,
You'll
which
do
is going to be super fun, but it's not coming out before then. So this will be history. And guys, I crushed it. Maybe.
You can do the $40 later.
$40.
I have dates on September the 26th.
Right. That's true. I could. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I got something coming up, but don't worry about it. I'm going to try to find somewhere in New Haven to do comedy. If you have a suggestion, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to start harassing bars until somebody lets me do it, you know? So, yeah, thank you guys so much for coming.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Pleasure.
All right. And we will see you in 3 months when I find new guests. All right. Great job, everybody.
Busy people and lots of yellies, Worcester hipsters and fat up townies. We have more than pizza in common, with 2 rocks for bookends. New Haven, New Haven, New Haven, between 2 rocks. Ba-da-da-da, 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 between 2 rocks.